Hey everybody. I have an interesting message today. It's a little different than what I usually do. I just want to let you know that I think the Democratic Party is destroying itself. And I want you to come along with me on this little journey where I explain why I say that. Because stop and think about what's going on in America's cities right now as we speak. I think at this point it's a couple dozen different cities, all controlled by Democrats, as far as I know, and they're all experiencing one degree or another of the very same thing. Black Lives Matter protests that lead to riots and looting, the local DA and mayors, and as well as governors, are not taking firm action to support the police. In fact, they're basically neutering the police. They are taking the side of the demonstrators and the people who are being violent. Crime is skyrocketing in places like New York City. The same day the mayor uh, is crowing about how there are fewer people in jails in New York City than at any time since the end of the Second World War, which ended 75 years ago. Uh, that's the same day that crime is announced to have skyrocketed, violent crime, by the way, skyrocketed something like 60% at that point. It's even worse right now. In other cities, local district attorneys are taking legal action against people who are using firearms to fend off people who are trespassing onto their property and threatening them. I mean, they're not firing those firearms at people, although they probably would be in their legal rights to do so in some places if they were threatened on their property. Not so sure about the specific cases, though. But all that aside, I mean, to not even allow people to defend themselves, I mean, that's a bit too far, I would think. Now, in most of these cities, like I said, since they're all controlled by Democrats, most of the people who vote in those cities, I don't think I'm going out on a limb here, are Democrat voters. And we just went through an entire week, well, not quite an entire week, was it 4 days was the Democrat National Convention, and not a single word was uttered condemning the demonstrators and the people who are committing violence and all kinds of looting and mayhem and crime. Not a word. Not a word? How is that even possible? I mean, this is the Democratic Party of John F. Kennedy, or at least it was. I just, the mind boggles. So the point I'm making here is that what is the message the Democrat Party gave during their 4 days of conventions and Joe Biden giving his acceptance speech and Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris giving her acceptance speech. What's the message to the voters, the Democrat voters, in those specific cities where it's too unsafe for children to go out and play, and there's crime going up all over the place, there's drug gangs ruling the streets, there's rioting and there's looting? I mean, the cities are becoming unlivable because we're still trying to get out from under COVID-19. Kids can't go to school the way they would normally go to school if they can go to school at all. People are having trouble getting back to work in a lot of cases, and in some cases the businesses aren't there anymore because they've either been shut down until they've gone out of business, or they've been looted until they're out, and now they're out of business. So the cities are being decimated and destroyed, and Democrat politicians are standing by watching it happen, doing nothing. And my only question is to the Democrat voters in those cities is this enough? Is it? Are you done yet? Are you done with the Democrats yet? Do you need more of this? Is this what you voted for? Did you vote to have a city that's so unlivable you're afraid to send your kids outside? Is that what you voted for? I don't think that's what you voted for. I'm sure it's not what you voted for. Who voted for something like that? Nobody. But why aren't they talking about it? Why was the Democrat National Convention, the list of speakers, really just a parade of one person coming up and say, hey, wait a minute, you think that last guy hated Trump? Wait till you hear what I have to say about him, because boy, I really hate Donald Trump. That was an encapsulation of the entire Democrat National Convention. And then Joe Biden went on, made his speech. He didn't fall down a flight of stairs, and everybody's going, oh my God, could you believe how great that speech was? I mean, that's where we're at in this country. Not a word about what's going on in cities and all the chaos and mayhem, nothing. And I just have a question to the Democrat voters in those places. Is it enough yet? Do you need more of this? Do you think this is going to change if you elect the same people who brought it to you? I mean, this is brought to you by Democrats, folks. This isn't nothing to do with Donald Trump. What does Donald Trump have to do with the rioting that's going on, and point to a city? Boom, throw a dart at a board. New York. What does Donald Trump have to do with any of that? He doesn't have anything to do with that. Oh, I'm sure that they want to try to make it seem like it has something to do with him, but he has nothing to do with that. And yet, they're doing nothing about it. That should be really what you focus on, is why isn't de Blasio empowering the police to do anything about it? Why isn't the mayor of Chicago empowering the police in Chicago to do anything about it? Or St. Louis, or, I mean, all these cities, Portland, Seattle, name the city. Why aren't they doing anything to empower the police to put the kibosh on these criminals that are creating all this chaos and hurting people and killing people? Why? And I'll tell you what I think the answer is. The answer is they know you'll just take it. They know you'll take it. They have contempt for you. They know you'll take it. They know you'll continue to vote for Democrats. They think that they've got you over the past 4 years. They've worked you up into such a frenzy of hatred for the Republicans and especially for Donald Trump that you could never vote for Trump or a Republican. And you'll vote for them even though they're delivering total death and destruction. And I believe that people are smarter than that. And that's why I'm making this video. Because I want to believe that the people who live in these cities are smarter than to fall for this, whatever it is, that the Democrats are perpetrating on you. Because that's what they're doing, people. They are daring you to vote for Republicans. Not just Trump, all the Republicans. And you know what? You really should just vote for the Republicans. You really should. I'm not a Republican. I'm a conservative. And I'll tell you this, I didn't always vote Republican. When I first started voting, I voted mostly Democrat. In fact, I voted, I think, almost entirely Democrat all the way up until 1992. Then I had enough. I had enough of them. And since then, I haven't been able to bring myself to vote for a Democrat. I just can't do it. I just can't do it because I see what they're about. And they used to be a great party. They used to be a proud party. I didn't always agree with them. Now I don't agree with anything that they do. And if you can agree with what they're doing in New York City, God love you. I just don't see how that works for you. I don't see how it works for your kids, and I don't see how it works for the country. So all I'm saying in this video really is, I don't care, honestly, if you don't want to vote for President Trump. I'm not here to tell you to vote for President Trump. Although if you want to vote for him, great, vote for him. I'm voting for him, but that's no reason you should vote for him if you have that much of an animus toward him. However, I do think it's important that you not vote for Democrats. And if that means sitting out the election, that's what it means. But you shouldn't vote for the Democrats. Look, doing what they're doing to you, you just should not vote for the Democrats. And that's all I have to say about it, and I hope you understand, and if you have any comments, leave them, okay? Take care. God bless.